So guys, it's been 45 days since the OnePlus 6T came out, and I switched over immediately from my Galaxy Note 9 to the OnePlus 6T, the mirror black. And shortly after, we got the Thunder Purple edition, and I moved all my stuff from the mirror black to this one. And I've been using it as my daily driver for about 45 days now. And some people might say that I downgraded from the Note 9. Sure, I did, but it didn't feel like. The first things I noticed were a huge bump in performance, so the speed with which I could do things, and the battery life was super impressive. And even after 45 days of use, I haven't noticed any degradation in performance or battery life of the OnePlus 6T. And I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I mean, I do miss the S Pen in the Note 9 and Samsung Pay because I used to use it quite a bit. But other than that, the OnePlus 6T has taken care of 90% of my daily needs with an amazing performance and battery life. And a lot of that has to do with the Oxygen OS on the 6T. First of all, the 6T comes with Android Pie right out of the box. And on top of that, Oxygen OS is extremely efficient. It is extremely lightweight, very few and selected preloaded apps, and of course, it's got like a ton of customization options, like changing the theme from light to dark and changing the color accents. You can even change the navigation styles. So, I mean, if you really get into all the kind of settings and personalization options available, the Oxygen OS is pretty neat. So yeah, the OnePlus 6T is really fast, it's really snappy. And you know, whether it's about launching apps or games, switching between apps, even the face unlock, everything is super fast, it's blazing fast. And the important takeaway here is that you could buy the OnePlus 6T and feel sorted for the next 2-3 years because you know, a lot of people feel that Android phones slow over a period of time. The OnePlus 6T kind of future-proofs you because it just comes with so much power and performance to begin with, so can't imagine how this could slow over time anyway. And coming to the OnePlus 6T's display, which I think is another spectacle altogether, it's 6.41 inches big, so it's pretty immersive. It's a 1080p display, so it's quite sharp, and it's AMOLED, so it's really bright, it's got really good colors, very saturated, eye-popping basically, it's really vivid. So the screen looks fabulous. And you know, whether I'm playing a game on it or watching a video, it looks really good because it's a display edge to edge and there's just very little bezel around it, so it feels really immersive. The OnePlus guys did a very smart thing. They put in a 1080p display and not like a higher resolution display like you find in the Note 9, and that saves you a lot of battery. The Note 9 might have like a higher resolution, but you really can't tell the difference. The Note 9 on the other hand takes a lot more battery power to power that screen with all those pixels. The OnePlus 6T saves that for you and gives that battery life back to you to do whatever you want. And I've grown really fond of the way this device feels in my hand and in my pocket. It's pretty slim, so it's really easy to use with just one hand despite its size. It does not feel bulky at all, and I think that's really important. I mean, I don't want my phone to feel like a brick, and unlike the Note 9, which had really rectangular sharp edges, so it did feel like a little bulky, but the OnePlus 6T has these really nice soft rounded edges, so it's a real pleasure to hold in your hand. And I use the OnePlus 6T, the Thunder Purple color, which has this really nice soft matte finish, so it does not attract any fingerprint smudging or even dust, so it's always clean. Moving on, let's talk about the camera. It's not very different from the OnePlus 6, but this video is not about comparing it to the OnePlus 6 either. There is nothing special or new in the camera stack, but it can take good photos. And it can't beat the Note 9 or an iPhone XS Max, but I think it's 90% as good as those cameras as well. Now, I've been using the 6T to take pictures of all kinds, good lighting, low lighting, really dark lighting, and some portrait shots too. It fed pretty well. It's just that if you zoom into these photos, they pixelate and lose detail. And that's an area where I feel that the higher flagships do a much better job. But by the way, the pictures look a lot better on the OnePlus 6T's display. As soon as you move it over to the computer or any other smartphone, it might not look as good, but nevertheless, they're right in front of you, so you decide whether you like these pictures or not. Additionally, I love the fact that the 6T lets me shoot 4K videos at 60 FPS, and it can shoot 1080p videos at 240 frames per second, giving you some really high resolution slow motion videos, unlike some other smartphones that are around the 60 like the Galaxy A9 or the Zenfone 5Z, although those are a bit cheaper. What's even better is that the 60 comes with optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization, which again no other phone delivers in this segment. So not only do you get smooth 60 frames per second videos, but they're also very stable. Now all of these were positive things about the 6T, but there are quite a few misses. First of all, I missed the fingerprint sensor, the physical fingerprint sensor at the back that the OnePlus 6 and the 5T had. It was really fast, but the in-display fingerprint sensor that now comes on the 6T is sort of a hit or miss. It does not always work. There's a chance that it might not register your fingerprint and you might have to use put in your password. And because of that error, I've completely stopped using it because I don't want to try and then not have it unlock and then spend another 2 seconds on putting in my PIN. So I straight away use the face unlock or I use directly the PIN. But I don't use the fingerprint sensor anymore because who's going to take that risk now? The next thing I really miss on the 6T and even on pretty much any OnePlus device is the AlwaysOn display. Like it's there on the Galaxy devices, right? You can look at your display, your phone could be kept on the table and you could just have a look and see what notifications you have from which app. And you can decide whether you want to pick up the phone, unlock it, and you want to read them or not. With the OnePlus, I have to pick up the device and that's when it lights up this display which tells me what notifications I have unread. And that's sort of an inconvenience to me, and I don't know why OnePlus does not do that. Sure, it does take a bit of battery life, but I think it's worth that extra battery that goes away, or at least have the option, let me disable it if I don't want it. And just to quickly mention something, it also does not have the micro SD card slot. And I don't think you'll need it because if you have like the 128 gigs internal storage or even 256 gigs, you don't really need a micro SD card slot. So at least I don't. So I'm all right with it. And one thing that really ticks me off is that they took away the headphone jack. Why can't they find another way of increasing battery size? I mean, the Note 9, it's got its USB port, the Type-C port. It's got the headphone jack. It's got S Pen. It's got the speakers. It's got the microphone in there. They managed to do all of that and increase the battery life. It still has a bigger battery life than the OnePlus 6T. So why did they have to remove? Why did the OnePlus team have to remove the headphone jack? I do have a really good pair of wired earphones that I like to use. And I hate carrying that dongle with me everywhere. And it's only a matter of time. I'm going to lose it. So yeah, that's one thing that really does not feel right. But yeah, there are quite a few wireless headsets and earphones available in the market now for a reasonable price. Sure, they cannot match up to wired earphones in quality yet. But I think people prefer the convenience of a wireless earphone. It's just more comfortable. So it's not that far away that wireless earphones do become the norm. But I think at the moment, just having that choice is better. Let the consumer decide whether they want to use wireless headsets or they want to use their wired earphones. So do I recommend the OnePlus 6T? Definitely. I mean, it had me at performance and battery life. That's pretty much what you need for a majority of your day from any smartphone, and the OnePlus 6T simply blows away any other smartphone in that department. Now, the negativities of the OnePlus 6T are just too subtle. I mean, that headphone jack and no micro SD card slot and no notification LED, they're too small issues to really not consider that as a smartphone. Now, would I recommend a OnePlus 6 user to upgrade to the 6T? Probably not. I mean, the difference really lies in the notch area. I mean, the overall look from a display standpoint, the frontal display standpoint. So definitely not. But if you have an older Android smartphone and you do want to upgrade, the OnePlus 6T is probably the most value for money smartphone that you would get, and it completely leads the performance and battery life segment. So yeah, OnePlus 6T is probably the best phone you can get.